Scott, please allow me to introduce you in Arabic today. You can have the translation, as Ahmad will be translated to English, and then your presentation will be translated to Arabic.
Thank you.
مساء الخير بالحضور الكريم، شكرا لحضوركم اليوم لمحاضرتنا. ومعنا اليوم الزميل سكوت من الولايات المتحدة الأمريكية، وهو مدير قسم المبيعات في شركة إيفانس أند سيذرلاند، والتي اليوم مملوكة لشركة كوسم العالمية. بس يعني أكيد هلا سكوت حيحدثنا الكثير عن شركة إي&اس أو بالاسم الكامل إيفانس أند سيذرلاند، ولكن هي من الشركات الرائدة في عالم البلانيتاريوم الرقمي أو الديجيتال بلانيتاريوم، وهي أول شركة قدمت الحلول الرقمية للبلانيتاريوم، وذلك كان لسه في نهاية القرن الماضي. كان اسم البرنامج ديجي ستار، وهو ما زال البرنامج المستعمل من قبل الشركة. سكوت نفسه شخص مخضرم في عالم القباب الفلكية، ذو تاريخ عريق وطويل. عمل في عدة شركات في الحقيقة، وقبل ذلك كان مديراً لقبة فلكية، فهو دخل عالم القباب الفلكية من خلال عمله في تجربته في القباب نفسها. والآن هو مسؤول المبيعات والتسويق للديجي ستار وحلول شركة إيفانس أند سيذرلاند. فنقدم لكم، سنبدأ هذه المحاضرة. Scott, please go ahead with this presentation. We are all waiting for your presentation today.
Alexander, thank you for the introduction. I appreciate it very much. We go back many years working together, and I've enjoyed those times together. Good evening, everybody. And for Alexander, I guess it's morning for you, or late night, something like 2 in the morning, probably. So thank you.
2 in the morning, between the night and morning.
Thank you for being up at this time and being here. It's an honor to talk to you today, and unfortunately, I'm doing it in English. I don't have an Arabic background, but at Cosm, we have a lot of experience in the region. And today, I'd like to talk to you about Evans and Sutherland, Spitz, and the new name of Cosm, and I'll describe that in our presentation today. We are no strangers, as I said, to the region. We have a number of installations located around the area. I have been fortunate to be able to travel in the area. My hobby is photography. I love doing photography, and the region is just, for me personally, just so interesting, and just so many wonderful people and wonderful sites. Every time I go, it's a great experience for myself, both work and for pleasure. So we have a number of dots of where we currently have installations, and we're looking forward to having more of these projects around the region. So let me talk a little bit about Cosm and what we're doing and our reach of our projects, our community, our countries. We're all around the world. We have over 2,000 installations and experiences in the museum and science area with planetariums, a large reach to an annual visitors of about 25 million. And our legacy goes back 75 years. So we have a very rich history in the planetarium industry, starting out in the early days with Spitz, which I'll talk about in a moment. But now let's take a look at what we've been doing last year. We had 72 new installations, 17 Digistar 7 upgrades. That means somebody who had a Digistar upgraded to the newest version of Digistar 7. 141 shows that we sold across the world. 19 new dome installations in 9 different countries around the world. 180 visits and events to Salt Lake City to see what we call our Experience Center. And I'll be telling more about that in the coming minutes. Our staff has also grown a lot. Before the pandemic, we were about 90 people. Today, 209. We've also grown our offices and our locations around the world to 9 locations. We say Cosm powers a lot of experiences and a lot of visual display systems. But where did it all start? Where is the history? And how did we come to be Cosm? It really all starts back in 1947 with somebody by the name of Armin Spitz, who was making optical mechanical projectors at a lower cost. The only other planetarium company at the time was Zeiss from Germany, and Armin had the idea of creating a low-cost planetarium system that could be spread across North America at a relatively low cost. In 1963, the founders of Evans and Sutherland, Dr. Evans and Sutherland, were busy working on computer models. They originally came from the East Coast of the United States and then moved to Utah, at the University of Utah, and they started developing computer programs. The very early Sketchpad was the first interactive computer experience with a screen and a mouse. In 1968, what we were doing was something called VR. We didn't know what the name VR was at the time. So it's nice that Apple came out with something today, a number of years after we did it in 1968. But we've been doing visual simulations for an extremely long time. 1981 is when Digistar was born. The very first Digistar went into the East Coast of the United States in Virginia. And Digistar was born out of a quest to explore space and look at how we can use our visual display systems to tell a compelling story and to bring space down to people and be able to tell stories that are interesting to local audiences. In the 80s, 90s, and 2000s, we were doing a lot of work in the theme park industry, using our dome screens manufactured by Spitz. The dome screens by Spitz are preferred by IMAX, Universal, Disney. All the major theme parks are using our screen technology. In 2006, Evans and Sutherland sold off our simulation business that we were doing with flight simulators for commercial airlines, and we joined with Spitz to become one company. So we had the Spitz domes and the Evans and Sutherland Digistar. At the same time, another group of people were investing a lot of energy in the sports and entertainment areas. That is our management that came today, but we had people that were experiencing the sports. And eventually, in 2020, created Cosm. The word Cosm was created for our company. It never existed before. And Cosm stands for cosmology, which is our background, and also the Coliseum, where fans come together to experience big events and be able to enjoy seeing events together and sharing that in an environment together. That is our LED dome that you see there that opened in 2020. In 2022, we did our first 8K live stream from FIFA and also in Beijing. Prior to that, we also did the Olympics in 4K from Japan. So we've been both on the production side and the showing side. This year, we purchased a company called C360. They're a company that does a lot of the NFL, the American football, of setting up the cameras in the end zones and all the key locations. But they do more than the NFL. They do a lot of other sports. So that camera is now part of our company to allow us to both produce and show content on the dome. We also announced partnerships this year with NBA, which is basketball, and UFC, which is like a wrestling type of environment of sports. In 2024, we have new venues coming. These are venues that we own and operate, and I'll be showing you some pictures of those later on. Those will be in Los Angeles, the first one to open, and the next one will be in Texas. For planetariums, it's Digistar. This is our LED dome, and this is the console looking out on that dome. And let's take a few minutes to talk about Digistar and also during the pandemic of how we reacted to it and what we did. During the pandemic, we know it was difficult for a lot of planetariums to be closed and trying to do remote presentations, and it was a difficult time for many planetariums. We decided we wanted to give back to the planetarium community, and we developed a program called Launchpad. And the idea of Launchpad is it's open to all planetariums, not just Digistar. It's open to RSA, to Zeiss, to every planetarium. We've opened up this program, and it's training. It was a free show for 3 months, and it was also material and ongoing training sessions. And it was very, very popular, and people asked for more of it. So we continued doing that and helping people in what we called ground schools or professional development. And it was all about helping people to reopen their planetariums and be ready to welcome back their audiences. Because we know now, today, everybody is back out. They're at the movie theaters, they're at sporting events, and most importantly, they're at planetariums. So let's transition from Launchpad over to Digistar. Digistar 7 is our current version of the software. And there's a number of different features that come with Digistar. Probably the most well-known and most important and well-used is something called our cloud. It's the ability to share material between sites. In the Digistar cloud, we actively promote people to steal content. Take the content down from the cloud and use it in your theater. You can modify it, but we want you to tell your story and to use this material for your presentations. For those that like to do scripting or typing in command, we have a very robust script editor to make it easy and friendly. And then for people like me, we have something called control panels, which are more point and click. These are more object-oriented. And we give you all the tools so that you can create your own control panel pages to be able to create your own interface to make it easy for you. We also introduced Unreal Engine. Our version of Unreal Engine is integrated into Digistar. That means both Unreal Engine and Digistar on screen at the same time, and you can overlap both images simultaneously. For sharing to other planetariums, we do that through Domecasting, allowing you to connect to other Digistar planetariums around the world so that you can share those presentations. And we've had many, many examples of people doing that. In creating your own content, a simple way to do that is with something called Show Builder. Show Builder is a point and click way to create content where you see visual information on the dome view, you click it, and it holds it as a presentation, and you continue to build on, and Digistar will automatically make the transitions between each. Data visualization is very important for us, and we're continually bringing new models, new data sources, and new ways to interact with that data into Digistar. Now, astronomy is our core and what Digistar has also always been based on, but today STEAM and other areas of the sciences are very interesting for a lot of planetariums to explore. iDigiBio is our way to bring BioViz data in, and it's been very, very popular, and people have been asking us for other ways to bring other types of data sources into Digistar and STEAM. I heard a new one of STEAM the other day from a nursing college. They put an H in there for health. So STEAM with an H for the health areas to bring those in, which is very interesting. And then sky surveys and sky IDs for bringing the astronomy down to us and having other ways to be able to interact with the night sky. Lucy's Journey is something that was uploaded to the Digistar cloud as a way to be able to interact and be able to share that material. It was done by the Science Museum of Virginia, which happens to be the first location where Digistar was located. Another example of cloud material is the HR diagram creator. We have a lot of users who have a lot of creativity, and they love sharing their work with others so that everybody can share material across the world and be able to tell their own local story to the material. We created a wonderful model of the, and the U.S. and Space Rocket Center was then able to take that and break it apart and do much more with it. There was a gentleman from Germany named Reiner, who then took the Saturn V rocket and then did an animation of the complete sequence of the launch all the way to the Apollo landing, all in real time, all with the original narration. And that's the Digistar Cloud, the ability to share and have that content used by other theaters. It's probably the most popular part of Digistar, that sharing and that content. And speaking of sharing, in a couple of weeks, our Digistar users will be getting together at the Digistar Users Group. That will be on the East Coast of the United States this year. Last year, we were in Switzerland, in Lucerne, and Doug, Digistar Users Group, is where users come together to share their material and tell what they're doing. For those that aren't with us, we also do training webinars. We believe very heavily in sharing and educating our users. So we do 2 webinars each month dedicated to how to use Digistar, how to tell stories, and how to get more out of your system. These are presented live, but we also have pre-record. We also record them so you could watch those, so you don't have to be up at 2:30 in the morning, like some people I know. This was when Digistar Users Group was held in Salt Lake City. You can see all the masks. It was right kind of at the end of the pandemic, if you will. That is in the bottom left, our LED dome. Let me get a closer view of some of the parts of it, of the structure. Everything is manufactured by us. The dome structure comes out of Chad's Ford from our group at Spitz. And the engine, the CX engine, Digistar, and Unreal come out of Salt Lake City. The idea with what we did with our LED dome is we brought the dome all the way down to the floor for the ability to be able to interact and get up close to the dome. And it's been very, very popular in presentations, in the number of people that we brought through, and the experiences, but also for conventional types of theater setups. This is showing, again, the dome screen coming all the way to the floor, because we don't have to have projectors to worry about. So this is an example of an entertainment type with a DJ. This image is based off of what we created in Salt Lake City, where we have stadium type seating, and similar to the designs of what we're doing with our venues, the next one coming in Los Angeles. Now, of course, with the LED domes and all the flashy entertainment and everything else, this is going to be part of our market, but really things come back to the nanoseam and projectors. That is the heart of the majority of our business today. We do a lot of the planetariums, and nanoseam dome is the #1 selling dome around the world. With a beautiful dome, you need to have beautiful stories to tell on those domes. And for doing that, we created what we call Cosm Studios, the place where we create those shows. Right now, we're in the process of creating a Cirque du Soleil with that filming happening. So we have a lot of projects that are ongoing, both in the arts and in the sciences. And I think one of the important things here is that we're storytellers, and that's what planetariums have always been, storytellers. It's one thing to put up beautiful images on the night sky or just a starry field, but it takes a presenter to be able to lead an audience and motivate them and get them excited about what they're seeing and envelop them in the world that we know is so exciting. Robin Sipp, many of you probably know, he just completed the show Black Hole First Picture, which is a wonderful storytelling of two scientists and their quest to get a photograph of the black hole. In creating this, we do a lot of different techniques for being able to produce content. This was miniatures of the South Polar Station. It was a little bit too hard for us to go down there to film in the middle of the winter. So we created a model and then filmed with it, and the results are really quite beautiful. Other types of modeling that we do is with vehicles. This is inside our LED dome with the dome in the background and the vehicle on the floor. And then, of course, we also do a lot of on-site locations. And this is Robin on site doing filming for the Black Hole Show. Now, we create a lot of content ourselves, but we also represent a lot of other producers. We want to have one place where people can come to get content for their dome from producers, both us and others. So that's very important for us that we support all of you and those around the world who are creating content. I mentioned earlier about our venues, and we do have venues underway. Our first one will be in Los Angeles, in a place called Hollywood Park. In the background, you can see the SoFi Stadium. And this is a very exciting part for us, because this is going to take everything we've learned in science and education over the last 75 years and bringing in new audiences in sports and entertainment. And this project is currently under construction. You can see the site. It looks probably familiar to a lot of people who have been on construction sites and seen the process of a dome and everything else being built. So this is very exciting for us to be at this stage of construction. Also, while this is happening, we have our second project underway in Dallas, and we call that Grandscape, and it's another entertainment zone where we think that it's going to be a very popular area for people to come out as a family to be able to enjoy entertainment in a big new way. And this project is also underway. We've had the groundbreaking, we've had the pilings and the cement all laid, and the foundation is there. And we have 75 years experience that's going to help this foundation grow to be a modern facility, or a modern coliseum, if you will, for seeing live events and being able to bring people together in a fun way. So that's a quick overview of who we are, of Cosm, Evans Sutherland, Spitz, Cosm Immersive, which is our production end of Digistar. So I thank you for your time and letting me share this evening. And Alexander, again, thank you so much for being up at 2:30 in the morning and for hosting and being active. I would be probably asleep, nodding off.
Thank you, Scott, for the wonderful presentation. We wanted to learn something to see also about Digistar. I thought you would show us around with some simulations. If you have prepared something, maybe we would love to 5-10 minutes if it's available about Digistar.
Yeah, I don't have Digistar on the computer that I'm presenting with today. That would be on another one. And if somebody's interested in Digistar, we would be happy to spend time with you, showing you a presentation and answering your questions one-on-one.
Sure. Okay, so we open then the doors for the questions. نشكر محاضرنا اليوم سكوت على هذه المحاضرة وتقديمه لشركته شركة كوسم. إذا في أي أسئلة حول الموضوع أو يعني بشكل أو بآخر حابين أي استفسارات نحن جاهزون.
I think Emma was trying to ask a question, but it might be.
Yes. Marwan, you should be able to unmute yourself. Marwan, you are muted. Just unmute yourself. Go ahead with your question. We can't hear you. You are muted. Marwan, I cannot unmute you. You have to unmute yourself.
Yeah. I think Emma started her question before I start. Emma would like to say something.
Don't worry, I didn't have a question in mind, but I was like literally so happy with being with y'all.
Thank you, Emma. Emma
Of course.
is a 13 years student from Jordan, right? And she is very interested in astronomy and planetariums. And thank you, Emma. Shukran ilek, Emma.
Of course. You're
Most
welcome.
Okay, so everyone will. Okay, I would like to thank you, Scott, for the presentation. To be honest, I was disappointed when you said the Digistar was not installed in your PC that you are using right now. To be honest, I was to see how that works and how it, to see simulation from the Digistar, because I believe Digistar is one of the top softwares, the top simulators for planetariums.
To invite him again.
Yeah. I love all of them, to be honest. Many of them are excellent, but let me to say that Digistar is an excellent one. I tested it maybe in 2012. I'm not sure if that time I tested it here in Dubai, but I never used it as a planetarium in front of public. Anyway, I would like to invite you and Jennifer maybe in the future to show us Digistar live from your desktop, to see what Digistar can do, to see the simulations that Digistar takes us to the universe. I know it is very powerful.
Yes.
So I will leave this for a future presentation, hopefully very soon. And also we hope to see you also in November. In November, by the way, November from 13th to 16th, November from Monday to Thursday, there is actually a conference, astronomical conference in the University of Sharjah, the planetarium where I work, in Sharjah Planetarium as well. And one day or two maybe specifically will be in the planetarium, parallel with the conference, the big conference, will be only focusing on planetariums. And would like to see you, to be honest, to see you there. I believe Alexander has already sent an email to you.
You should have got invitation from the APS.
Yes,
Please.
I saw it, and I saw your hosting. So Marwan, yes.
Yes, please come, you and Jennifer, everyone from there is invited from your end. Would like to see, you will allow you to show whatever in the dome, 18 meters dome, our planetarium, Sharjah Planetarium, to show also the audience, all those people and more, maybe hundreds of astronomers and maybe tens of planetarians will be there to see your work. That's an excellent opportunity to meet together again.
So Marwan, I'll talk with you this week about that. So, okay.
Yeah. Okay. Now, my question about the system and about the company. So we have now Spitz, which was more focusing on the domes, right?
Right.
I mean that era.
Yes.
And also maybe focusing on planetariums or the star balls that time. And now we have also E&S, which is actually very it's a big distributor for planetariums over the world, as I know, which is good as well. So now you have you united together. You have united together to merge together in one the new company, which is Cosm. Is that correct?
Correct.
As I understand. So now the logo has been changed and everything. We wish you all the best. That's took place very recently, and we would like to see you. Okay, in November. I will leave the mic to my colleagues and later maybe I'll come back again.
Thank you for your wonderful hospitality.
With more technical questions, very more.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, Marwan.
Thank you, Marwan, for this. Sorry, Jennifer, do you have anything to add?
Nope, sorry, I was just thanking Marwan.
Okay. So we have a question from Dr. Muna. She is our Kuwaitan friend, planetarian. Muna, if you can unmute yourself. I already sent you an invitation to unmute. Go ahead with your question. Muna, are you able to unmute yourself? Please unmute and talk.
تو يفتح معي. مساء الخير. الو
صوتك
تسمعوا؟
بعيد.
Hello.
نسمعك ولكن الصوت كثير بعيد. يا ريت تعلي صوتك او تزيدي
والله ما
حساسية
ادري.
المايك.
صوت جيد، صوت جيد اخي الكسندر، صوت جيد جدا.
لا بس ما ادري هو يقول لي بعيد. صراحة تو يفتح معي. ساعة احاول مكان مفتوح. مساء الخير. Thank you for your presentation. And it's very nice to know about your business and your idea of Digistar. But I'm the person is one of who know like the Digistar because it's the Digistar like showing the stars, but it's not very clear to see exactly where's the place of the most of the planets and the star exactly for the teach and the training. But for the show, it's very nice. I see it in many planetariums like Madame Tussauds in London, and there's many also in Australia. And in India, there's 2 planetariums have Digistar. But I prefer another project who was show exactly the stars in the sky and to know exactly where is it. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. And you know, I'm guessing you're talking about optical mechanical stars?
Yes.
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 Alexander knows those very well. You know, we've seen both digital and optical mechanical over the years together.
Yes.
And, you know, for us, you know, to get the star quality, it takes higher resolution projectors. And, you know, doing 8K, the stars do look really beautiful. But honestly, it's the reason why we jumped from using projectors to the LED dome. The LED dome, the star fields are incredible. We've had optical mechanical manufacturers come here. I don't want to mention names, but they were shocked at how it looked like an optical mechanical projector. And the star fields of an LED dome with the brightness and contrast is amazing. And if you're ever back in the United States, you know, please stop into Salt Lake City. We would love to have you see that experience of the LED dome. and to rethink of what is possible in a modern digital planetarium.
Okay, Muna, does this answer your question, your concern? بتحبي اضيف شيء على انا ما كثير واضحه الفكره كانت من سؤالك، لانه كسيموليشن للنجوم البرنامج يقوم بسيموليشن دقيق جدا بناء على الخوارزميات والمعطيات المتوفره. غالبا بجوز النقطه كما ذكرها سكوت انه متعلقه بالتوافق بين النجوم، بين الاوبتيميكانيكال بروجيكتور وال البروجيكتور الديجيتال. فهون التوافق بيكون بين نظامين مختلفين، بتشوفي النجم من جهاز معين ونجم من جهاز اخر، هون بيكون في الفروقات بين النجوم. بجوز عم تحكي على هي النقطه، ما بعرف. خلينا ننتقل الى السؤال الاخر.
أيوة.
عنا
هو نفس النقطة، معليش ترى الميكروفون كان مسكر. هي نفس الفروقات من مواقع النجوم الحقيقية إلى الشو العادي مال ديجيستار. فأنا عشان أقولها باللغة العربية، أنا أفضل عروض مواقع النجوم الحقيقية أفضل من عروض الديجيستار، لأنها عروض استعراضية أكثر، عروض استعراضية. فهو جاوب عليها طبعا، مع أن عندهم الحين تقنية جميلة ممتازة حسب ما هو عرض، لكن ما زلت إلى الآن متمسكة بالعروض مواقع النجوم الحقيقية اللي هي للبروجكت الحقيقي لعرض النجوم أكثر من عروض الديجيستار الاستعراضية.
تحكي عن الاوبتيكال بروجيكتورز. تمام، مثل ما ذكرها.
ايوه، لا هو فهم علي.
تمام.
يعني هذا رأيي. يمكن في ناس يحبون طبعا اللي يروح هذا متحف مدام توسو يقدر يشوف الديجيستار هناك موجود في بعض القباب الفلكية بالهند وبأستراليا، وايد يفضلون الديجيستار. هي
اصلا فكره الهايبريد
للاساطير والاستعراض حلوه ممتازه. نعم الكسندر.
فكره الهايبريد بالبلانيتاريوم اجت اصلا انه خلينا ندمج الامكانيات الرقميه الديجيتال والامكانيات اللي بسموها الاوبتيميكانيكال اللي عم تحدثي عنها، بحيث البلانيتاريوم بيكون عندهم نظامين موجودين، فحسب الحاجه شو
بس النظامين ما ياثر
هذا بيكون
في
هايبريد.
عفوا الكسندر، هذا النظامين ما ياثر يعني ما ياثر على العروض.
فيك تعملي عروض تقليديه وفيك تعملي عروض باستخدام الاوبتيكال ديفايس.
اوكي يعني في بامكانه يجمعهم اثنينهم. ممتاز. اذا كذي ممتاز.
هذا بيسموه هايبريد سوليوشن.
very good it's nice. شكرا الكسندر.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Yes, thank you.
خلينا ناخذ سؤال. عندنا سؤال من تميم. إذا فيك تعمل unmute for yourself. تميم.
السلام عليكم.
وعليكم السلام.
حياكم الله، جزاكم الله خير على المحاضرة، على الورشة الطيبة. Thank you so much for the presentation. I couldn't hear much of it. I'm driving the car going back home. I'll just introduce myself. My name is Tamim Al-Tamimi from UAE, based in Dubai. I'm an astrophotographer. So my question is very simple. How would these technologies can help us as individuals? I mean, I'm an individual. I don't have a dome. I don't have any observability or anything. I'm just doing my personal astrophotography. So how will this technology help me? Or maybe we also, with our photos or with our astrophotography, we might help this institute who has this type of technology. So that's my question. I don't know if it is clear or not. Maybe is it clear, right?
Thank you for that question, and safe driving to you.
Yeah, thank you.
You know, the thing with children is for them, if you ask what excites a child, it's always dinosaurs and space. Those two things, dinosaurs and space. And making space accessible and exciting is what we want to do. We want to bring the sciences to people, both young at heart and older at heart. Astrophotography is amazing imagery that takes a lot of effort and a lot of time to capture. I've seen a lot of amateurs come up with imagery that just is mind-blowing as far as what you're able to capture and to be able to see. And when you see it on a small phone or a computer screen, it's one thing. But when you put it over a 23 or 25 meter dome, it's a whole nother universe of being able to see material. When we have NASA people come into our facility, they see details they've never seen before in images, because they're seeing the whole image at 8K with 150-foot Lamberts, great contrast, and it's just inspiring is the one word that just keeps coming back, to be able to see the imagery on such a big screen in such a beautiful way. So how does that impact you? It gives you another palette to be able to share your material, to be able to interact with audiences and be able to tell those stories. I love when an amateur astronomer puts their images up on a dome screen, and rather than just look at the beauty of it, talk about the work that went into capturing that image, the equipment that you use and what's involved. Most people have no idea of how those images are captured, or how much time and energy goes into that, or how many images are actually in that one image. So there's a lot that could be done there.
Thank you, Tamim, for your question. If we can get next, we have a question from Sultanate of Oman. So, Sulaiman, Faddal.
Good evening to all. Hi, Scott. Actually,
Hello.
I'm introducing myself. I'm Sulaiman Al-Busaidi, and also I am an astronomical consultant at the Thuraya Planetarium, which we installed, I think, if you remember, a few years ago, the DigiStar 6. My
Yes.
question is, what is there a big difference between DigiStar 6 and DigiStar 7, especially in STEAM?
Yeah, I mean, that's a good question about STEAM. And we just finished with our interns that we've had here for the summer, and they've been spending more time on STEAM, on upgrading the visual displays and telling more stories of STEAM, because we're getting a lot more interest in being able to bring more of the sciences into theaters that are at universities or at schools. And one of the things in DigiStar 7 was something called microcosmos, which is the ability to both look at space. If you remember the old powers of 10, of going powers of 10. So we have done that digitally, both in space and then also going inside the human body and looking at the molecular level. So that's a big part of what we did there also. The other things that we brought in is Show Builder. We've enhanced it with a timeline editor. We've brought in digital sky surveys, which has been a very popular way of looking at the night sky. We've also done 360 video capture and online streaming, atmosphere, volumetric clouds, terrain data sets, and I think probably PBR is also in DigiStar 7.
Okay, great. We're looking forward to upgrade the system now.
Well, thank you. I look forward to talking with you. Please give me contact me. I'm pretty easy to get a hold of. It's Scott N, like nice, SCOTTN @es.com.
I will.
And I'll put my email address in the meeting chat.
Great.
You just put in the meeting chat to everyone.
So everybody has it.
أي أسئلة ممكن تسأل السؤال باللغة العربية وسنترجم السؤال إلى الإنجليزي، فإذا حدا عنده أي تساؤلات. Scott, I have a question, a genuine question to you.
Okay.
So your company in the recent years was busy working in the sports, specifically the esports, and you have found, as you mentioned, some interesting way to connect the esports with the planetariums. Can you tell us a little about this direction of work? How your esports activities are benefiting the planetariums and vice versa?
Sure, that's a great question, Alexander. You know, in the planetarium field, we're able to do a lot. But you know, looking at how we can take our technology out to broader audiences and be able to bring our technology to new places. And there's no question that you know, there's a lot of money in sports, a lot of money in sports. And as we delve into the sports and entertainment market, we're able to get new investments. We're able to grow our company. As I said earlier, you know, before the pandemic, we were 90 people. Today, you know, we're over 200 people. We've expanded our offices. You know, we had 3 or 4 offices. Now we're 9 offices. So we're able to grow our business. And what does that mean to the planetariums? It means we have more software developers. It means we have more resources. As a planetarium company, we probably wouldn't have been able to do something like Cirque du Soleil to be able to have that reach. Now, I understand Cirque du Soleil is not going to be for everybody, but we're also looking at working with other scientists and artists and bringing in those areas. So we have a much larger company, a bigger reach, and that will be able to help the planetarium area to be able to grow in what we're doing with video processing and what we're able to do with, you know, live video streaming. So all of that, I think, is a good thing for our industry.
Yeah, very interesting combination indeed. Mm-hmm.
We'd love to have you join us, Alexander.
Yeah, we'll have a look on that. Study it well before.
Talk to me.
I did. Okay, Marwan, please, your final word.
There is a question before final word, if you allow me.
We have actually Omar is here. Let's get Omar.
Omar, yes, also.
Yeah, he just joined. Omar from Alexandria. Your old friend, Scott.
Yeah, I have 2 questions, if you don't mind, Scott.
Yes.
First, I would like to ask about service. You know, service is very important when it comes to planetariums and everything. Is there any regional office or that can look after the planetariums in the Middle East? Regional, I mean, within our area, the peninsula here. So this is the first question. The second question is, how would you see the LED planetariums as full dome, not half dome, the one that you manufactured? So when it comes to full dome above us means just like any planetarium. How would you see this in the future, especially or particularly about price? Because what I learned from that is very, very expensive compared to any other systems or technology, especially when we know that this is just it is the resolution is not high enough, and the brightness, I'm not sure. I never seen this. I know these things are must-see technologies. I never seen this as a planetarian. I know this is a must-see before talking. This is why I'm asking you, and yes. I hope I get the opportunity to see it live. I never seen that. So how would you say this? I'm asking the first question back to the first and the second as well.
Sure.
Because within the community of APS, the Arab Planetarium Society, I believe there is at least now 4 new proposals from different countries. 2 of them at least from Iraq, as far as I know. So I think so there is more than new proposals for instructions for instructing new planetariums. So I believe some of them now are looking at you to see if their favorite solution would be from you or not. So what would you talk about this service, please?
Sure. So I got both questions. Let me just say on the LED first, it is expensive. There's no way to say around it. Probably 3 times to 4 times as much as a conventional planetarium. You know, there's a lot more equipment involved. The LEDs are expensive. We've seen price reductions in LEDs over the years. We don't know whether we're going to see more price reductions. But like you said, seeing is believing. And everybody who has seen the dome and written about what they've experienced has nothing but positive things to say. You know, it's 8K and 150-foot Lamberts and absolute black contrast. So it's something to be seen. You know, service and support, both for the LED and for projectors, is important to us. And that's why we select our partners in how we build our systems very carefully. We use Dell computers so that we have Dell next business day support in most areas of the world to be able to have a Dell technician on site. We are also careful with the projectors that we offer to ensure that we're able to get projector support. We have technicians and we have an office in India, which is probably the closest location. And we also have support out of Europe. So service and support is very important to us along with our training and, you know, with remote sessions. We have the ability to, with the permission of the planetarium, to remote log in and do diagnosis. While you're sleeping, our staff could be working on your system and then coordinate in the morning. But, you know, we do both on-site and remote services. And then we also use our partners to help get somebody there as service is needed, which typically isn't as often these days as it used to be with CRT projectors, which were much more demanding.
Thank you, Scott, for the comment. Yeah, so LED domes today are available just in a few locations in the US, as Scott mentioned, and also in Japan. There will be one in India in a year or so. And Scott, you are building also one in the US?
Two, that's what we call the venues. Those will be LED in Los Angeles and Dallas.
Right. So this will be the LED domes.
Correct.
And when do we expect the opening of these domes?
2024.
2024. That's quite soon. Yeah.
Yes, quite soon. I'll
just
sell
around
you
the Indian planetarium to open. Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
You have a chance to be on our team and be part of it.
We'll be opening in India, so let's see who is going to open first. But anyway, it's around the same time. So good to hear that LED domes technology is starting and spreading worldwide.
Yes, and I think it's important for people to be able to see it. Most people have probably seen Las Vegas and the Sphere, the exterior images of the Sphere. You know, everybody who's seen it is just like they can't believe what they're seeing. It looks fake because it looks so amazing. So I think what they're doing in Las Vegas is going to raise interest and excitement around the world for what we're doing with LED. Now, what they're doing in Las Vegas, I'm sorry, it's in US dollars, but it's over $2 billion is what they're spending in Las Vegas. So, you know, when we talk about our LED, it's just a fraction.
Yeah, indeed. I would like to hear from our friend Omar from Alexandria. Omar, can you, as you just joined, can you unmute yourself and say hello to your friend? Yeah, he was sorry that I was unable to join your presentation. He said he might be able to get at the end.
Okay,
I noticed he came here, but probably he is not able to get with us here. Okay.
understand.
So if we don't have any questions, I would let Marwan, as the president of our association, to have a final word.
Okay, thank you very much, Scott. Thank you, Jennifer, for today's presentation about Cosm, the SPITS and the E and S. We believe you are actually a big solution, a platinum solution distributor and solution developer. So we, as the APS, the Arab Planetarium Society, we would like to know every single solution developer like you, to offer all of that to our community, to know everyone, to know all technologies, and this is what we are focusing on. We have we are only 2.5 years old, or less than 3 years to be honest, only, but we did about 30 lectures in technologies of planetarium. Every month we have a lecture, and we have invited at least 6 planetarium solution developers. You are one of them, and a large one, and as you know that. Thank you very much for coming. Would like again to have another presentation to see the Digistar 7.
We would love to come back again. I would enjoy that.
Yes, we would like, because I think everyone wants to see how that works. That
Yes.
actually adds a lot to our community members.
Yes.
So we need to see that. Yes.
One thing I would just like to say, and just I want to thank. It's wonderful to see Emma here, because many times it's a lot of us older folks that are here, and it's nice to see the youth that are investing and participating. You're the next generation. You're the ones. You're going to be carrying the torch, and it's wonderful to see younger folks being involved. I thank you for that.
Say something, Emma.
Yeah, I'm just so speechless right now. Thank you so much.
يلا احكي بالعربي للجمهور، رحبي فيهم.
مرحبا، السلام عليكم. أنا عن جد كثير مبسوط إنه قدرت أحضر هاي المحاضرة، وخصيصا إنه طلعنا مع سكاء ومع كلياتكم، وإن شاء الله رح نتلاقى محاضرات أخرى.
شكرا يا إيما. is amateur astronomer, is always joining us our activities, all physics and astrophysics and high energy sources. I don't know. أنا great إيما. Okay, now بدي أشكر الجميع الموجودين.
Just let me, Marwan.
تفضل، بس بدنا ناخذ صورة جماعية. تذكروا جميعا.
بالضبط. I just wanted the photo. Yeah. Go ahead. Let's just open your cameras and let's have a common photo.
Please, it is I think a great moment. يعني لحظة جميلة كلنا ناخذ صورة مع بعض. We're going to take a photograph. Please, everyone, I would like everyone to join in this beautiful group picture for planetarians. Everyone is a planetarian. Let me say everyone is a planetarian. Okay, so I will take those who are sharing this photos to the top. Okay, if you would like to be at the top, so please share with your photo.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Scott. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Alexander, and good night to you.